Alrighty guys, and welcome back. We're taking another look at the shrine, and currently we can see we have a breakdown perk, which is a Jeff perk. We have surveillance, which is also a pig perk, followed by quick and quiet, which is a level 30 Megan perk, and then you have Xenophobia, which is a nurse perk. Now, right of all, what can I tell you about this shrine? It is not great. I would strongly recommend you either save your shards, or if you really need the blood points, just pick them up. Some of these perks are absolutely dreadful, and the only one perk here that isn't dreadful, you can get really easily. So let's get into a little bit of details. What does breakdown do? Every time you are hook saved, whether that be a Kobe if you use the perk Deliverance, or you just 4%ed, or even if you had a luck offering, whether a survivor pulls you off a hook, the hook that you were on gets broken for the default, I believe, 2 minutes. If you did have Saboteur, it does get broken for another 30 seconds, because technically you savoed the hook. This is good on Savo builds, but at the same time, it's not good, because it relies on you being caught. You should not be relying on a perk getting you caught. There is only one perk in the game that can benefit you from being caught, and that is Decisive Strike. I'm not going to say it does the same things, because Decisive Strike prolongs one additional hook, as opposed to this doesn't prolong a hook. This actually means you have to have Ben hooked for it to work. If you're going around breaking hooks and the killer picks you up, puts you on a hook, and you get off that hook, and then, you know, he hits you down, he picks you up, and he sees no hooks, he's just going to slug you. So I hope you have Unbreakable, or you have some way to get up, or a teammate comes over and gets you. Because if he has Knockout as well, then you're in a lot of trouble. It can really turn around and backfire on you. It is known as a meme perk, it is a Jeff perk. It normally gets used in 4-man Savo squads, alongside No Mither, Resilience for faster hook breaking, and maybe Empathy so you can see your allies. You know, it's a really memey perk. I would not recommend it to anyone who wants to play and get better at DBD. It can entwine okay with Kindred, but I strongly wouldn't recommend running either of those two perks. You want perks that enhance your performance or allows you to prolong a chase, not something that's going to have to rely on you being caught. Obviously, with the exception of DS in its current state being very, very powerful. Alright, moving on to the next perk, guys. This is called Surveillance. Now, Surveillance did get a rework not too long ago. It wasn't too bad, but what happened right now is it gets outweighed by a lot of other perks. So basically, when you kick a generator, it'll glow white, and when a survivor jumps on the generator, its color will change. Therefore, I believe it goes to a yellowy green color. Also, a different color to Discordance, just an FYI. It'll go to like a yellowy green color, and that'll tell you a survivor's on the generator. It will not make a bang explosion sound, so you won't know. So if you do have Discordance and Surveillance, and you see two Jennies, and you can't tell the color difference, one that pops means there's two people on it, as opposed to the other one that wouldn't. Although running both those perks is kind of counterintuitive. Surveillance is good if you're versing a full squad of Claudettes or Nias, people that you know are going to be urban evading around, tapping your Jennies. It works decently with Whispers, don't get me wrong. If you have Whispers, you can't see the guy, you kick the Jenny, you keep walking away. The second a Jenny changes color, you walk right back in for him, and then it's harder for them to escape. I don't rate it, because that means you're focusing too much on one area, one person, one catch. You should be rotating pressure and splitting targeting as much as you can. It can be hard. You could be unlucky on a map like Hattonfield, and you might need to focus down, eliminate someone because you don't have Ruin, your totem's been destroyed, you have all platform Jennies. It could be very, very difficult, you know? I personally rate Surveillance as an okay perk. I honestly think it's a poor man's Discordance. Even though Discordance doesn't light up when one person is, it lights up when 2 people are, or 3 people, or 4 people. It allows you to know where the majority of the group is. So if I have Jeff on the hook, Claudette and Chase, and then a Jenny starts exploding through Discordance, that's going to reveal to me exactly every single player's location at least that point in time. And if I can chainsaw her down, I can change pathing and try and cut off the savior and the generator. And just like that, I've taken the game back. Whether I have 1 Jenny left, 2 Jennies left, you know, it just has so much power plays in it having Discordance, yeah? So Surveillance is okay. I would recommend playing around with it. It could be good on a nurse. It could be good on anyone who can remove their heartbeat as well. It could be good on a spirit for phasing away, for baiting a phase. It could be good on a wraith. It could be good on a pig. The thing is, I say it can be good, but there are better options on the table. Just remember that, yeah? For example, my wraith is Haunted Ground, Enduring, Pop Goes the Weasel, and Discordance for the snowball effect of Haunted Ground, with Discordance knowing where multiple targets are, with Enduring to lunge through pallets as well, and try and snowball and get at least 2 to 3 downs with the Haunted Ground. Moving on to the next perk, we have Quick and Quiet. Now, Quick and Quiet is unlocked at level 30. It is a Megan perk. Now, something I need to point out, a massive disclosure about this perk, is people do not realize, if you have a good headset, I'm currently wearing the Revolver Cloud headset, which is really, really good. I can't actually think of what else it's called. You'll probably be able to tell by looking at it. Anyways, it's a really good headset. It's a bit tight on the ears, but it's good at telling you noises. Now, what do I mean by this? I can tell the difference whether you're a man or a woman if you're breathing. Keep in mind, I do have over 7,000 hours. I could tell, obviously, if it's Bill because of the smoking. When you're running, men and women make different panting sounds, and they also make different footstep sounds. So I can actually tell by sitting looking at a wall, probably the difference between a Claudette and a Megan running, not obviously at the same time, but one runs past and the other runs past, just from understanding the breathing and the sound. So I'll be able to go, that's Megan's breath, that's Nia's breath, that's Jake's breath, just from being able to hear the sounds, because they're all different voice actors, or they're trying to put up. I don't know, man. I'm not an expert. Something else to point out, if you pay attention to sounds, you could hear a survivor gasp with air when they jump in a locker. If you're using quick and quiet and you get in a locker, turn your headset up real loud and listen. When you hit shift spacebar to go in, you're going to go, take a big massive gasp of air. You do the exact same going out. Even if you slow vault in, the gasp of air happens, but it's quieter and it drags on longer. So it's more of a getting in a locker as opposed to the really loud kind of pitchy sound that can be told on different platforms. Something else to keep in mind as well, with really good headset and a lot of time and experience, you'll be able to tell which direction they're running, obviously with 7.1, whether they're running on dirt, gravel, pavement, tiles, slabs, wooden floorboards, grass, above, below, basement. You know, you're going to be able to hear all these different foot sounds, and because of the rework to killer sounds as well, it really benefits you. So you might not even need a really good headset. I'm not recommending you turn up the volume and blast your ears. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just listen to the sounds and understand. There's a lot of noise in DBD. Chase music has changed. Heartbeat music has changed. So you just got to listen and adapt with the game. Quick and Quiet can also be good for baiting a killer if you're smart with your loops to get a vault through a window. It works really well with something like Dance With Me to make sure you have no scratches going through the window, and then obviously Life, therefore you have move at 150% movement speed for 3 seconds, and you've got Dance With Me with Quick and Quiet. You just go through the window, you leave no scratches, and you get behind a wall 100 and, maybe like 7 meters away because you had that sprint burst, and then you can take a corner and walk away. You can have Iron Will, but then again, if you're hurt, they can track the blood unless there's grass. It can work really well in the wombo combo is what I like to call it, but then you're relying on a lot of perks. You got no BT to help your team, you got no adrenaline for the end game play. It really, really does hurt you. You got no DS for another run, you got no dead hard for a mistake. So it's just depending on your kind of playstyle. Now, moving on to the fourth and final perk, we're looking at Xenophobia. Xenophobia is not a fantastic perk, okay? Every survivor receives a penalty once the survivor is hurt. So if you're the Plague and you vomit on people, or you're Legion and you give people unbroken status, maybe you're the Trapper and you M1 people, this basically means all work will be slowed down. I believe it's at a total of 16% when you have every survivor hurt. Now, good survivors don't care. They're going to push through it. What is 16%? That's 16% to sabotaging, that's 16% to healing, and that's 16% to generators, okay? That is not 16% to hook saving, that is not 16% to breaking a totem, I don't think it is, and it's not 16% to searching a chest. I'm not 100% sure on the totem, but I'm pretty sure it's not 16% to the totem. But looking at these kind of things, it's not worth it. Trying to hurt everyone and have everyone hurt to get your most benefits is not going to work. Unless you're running Sloppy Butcher, you're slowing down the heals. Now you got 2 perks for it when you could have been running Pop Goes the Weasel and Make Your Choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're really lacklustering. I would only recommend Xenophobia on the old Legion before the rework. People used to run it on Freddy. No, still don't recommend it. I don't even recommend it on the Plague. I feel there's better options, but realistically, if I had to pick a killer in their current state to run it on, it would be the Plague. Even though it is still awful, I'd rather Pop Goes a Weasel. I'd rather Situational Awareness with Discordance. I'd rather Thrilling Tremor or something along the lines of Corrupted Dimension to stall the game at the start. There's a lot of different options that you can choose. Xenophobia is a nurse perk. It's not too great. I believe you unlock it at level 40 on the nurse. That's level 30 on Megan. That's level 40 on the pig. No, 40s Make Your Choice. That's level 35 on the pig. And that is... I have no idea. Nobody likes Jeff. I mean, I like Jeff, but not many people do like... I think it's level 35 on Jeff. Not 100% sure. Alrighty guys, that's going to be all for the Shrine in this week. Just for a quick recap, would I buy any of these perks? No, I'd recommend you level Megan up to level 30 as she unlocks Adrenaline at level 40 as well. And Adrenaline's not on the Shrine, and all her perks are okay. Sprint Burst is a bit of a dud at level 35, but, 2 out of 3 isn't really bad. So yeah guys, if you are looking for the blood points, pick them up, but I personally will be saving the little shards that I do have left this week. So thanks guys, and I'll see you in the fog.